So I remember one day I was making a little steak with my mate, and I was in the kitchen cooking it up, and I'm telling him like, oh, I want to have this party. I wanted to be hyped, but I'm scared no one will come. He goes, no, bro, that was the old Finn. This is the new Finn, mate. Trust, bro, people will come. And I remember that snapped me out of my like negative thinking spiral. I was like, you know what? It would be hype if I threw a party. It would be sick. And there comes a time in your life where you realize that the biggest thing that's holding you back is how much you believe in yourself. And you see, the thing is, bro, it's hard. It's not something you can instantly do. But I want to share with you in this video today how you can use self-belief as, like, there's a specific way to do it. I have to explain it in a certain way. Just, oh yeah, I believe in myself isn't really going to do anything. When you understand this properly, your whole social life gets so much better. And if you want my exact method on like being the most social guy, it's a little bit off topic, but it's everything I know about being social. Click the link in the description because I got a course, and go buy my course. But I want to start off this video with a story. One day I was with my lads. We were boxing all together. We were getting some sparring going. We were at the beach, walking around, having a bit of a laugh. We had a great time that day. I loved that day so much, man. And a little while later, oh, by the way, did I include the part that I felt really confident. I was speaking to everybody, making all the jokes I wanted to. I became really good friends with these guys. One of them's like my best mate. The other one messaged me yesterday, coincidentally, asking me like when we're next going to be in HK. And I remember a few days later, I went on this like date, you could say. I was meeting up with this girl, and she was leaving in a few days to go to England. But I was like, oh, we got to see each other before you leave. And I was like, I didn't think she was going to want to hang out. So when she fucking responded to my message, like, oh yeah, I can meet at this time. I was with my friend. I was like, yeah, I started dabbing it up, hyping up a little. But bro, I swear this is like no under exaggeration. When I got there to like hang out, I had never been so awkward in my whole life. She carried the entire conversation. I wanted to like compliment her. I wanted to like I've thought she was super pretty, bro. I wanted something to happen a little, right? But I was so scared to compliment her that like I only said at the end, as she's literally, I'm walking her to like the train basically, and I'm like, bye. And I, like right before that, I said, oh yeah, you have really nice eyes, by the way. And so I only dropped like a little bit of charm right at the end. And the whole time through, I was just so nervous. And look, I understand that if I had a few more hours, maybe I would have gotten more comfortable. But the point that I wanted to make is that it wasn't that I didn't know what to say. It was that everything that came to my mind, I was scared to say it. I thought, oh, what if she thinks this? Because I cared too much about what she thought instead of what I thought about myself. So the root cause was I didn't think that, or I wasn't happy with who I was internally. I didn't have like super close friendships as much at that time with people who like really, really back me and know me really well, really deeply. And so like that led to a bit of an insecurity, and also like at school having a hard time led to an insecurity. I thought that nobody liked my real self. And so all these thoughts that were coming to my mind, or that my real self would say, I was like sheltering them a little, like holding them in. I didn't want to say them because I was scared that I was going to be judged. I was scared that she wouldn't like me. But she didn't like me because I was scared that I was going to be judged. Because if I just said everything that came to my mind, I guarantee I would have had a better time. Yeah, maybe she doesn't like me, potentially. She doesn't like a person who speaks their mind and is super confident, which is just like rare in comparison. Like that's just not true. That's not going to happen. Like what kind of girl likes a fucking awkward, quiet dude over like a confident dude who shows his true colors? But like, let's just say that she doesn't like that version of myself. At least I would have had a good time. At least I would have enjoyed my own presence, felt more comfortable in myself, and been confident. You don't need every single person to like you. You just need yourself to like you. And the weird thing is that when you like yourself, everybody else does too. I remember this girl, like this was about 9 months later. I'd started to become a bit better, like like a better time at school, growing as a person. And this girl, the first time I met her, it was like a few years ago, and then I saw her again. There was this girl that I told my friends about. I showed her like the Instagram. I was talking to this girl who was just like a friend of mine. I was like, oh, do you think she's good looking? She's like, yeah. She literally said to me though, my chick friend, she said, yeah, but she's kind of out of your league. Like, I don't want to be mean, but like, I'm being fully honest. A few years later, I went straight up to her when I saw her. I was like at this area where a lot of people my age go. I was like, hey, how you going? I broke the ice and I ended up having a good laugh. I showed my true self. I made all the jokes I wanted to make. I was like, wait, low-key, give me a little like massage real quick. Like the little, I don't know if your friends ever do it, but they like hit your back like this and it's like real nice. But okay, I'm waffling, right? But I did like, this might seem weird in your mind, right? Oh, he said that? Like, oh, that's so weird. But the thing is, bro, when you say all the things you want to say and do the things you want to say, it will be less weird than if you like carefully pick it out anyways. And on top of that, there's no such thing as the right or wrong thing to say. Because if somebody doesn't want to do something, you say, oh, yo, give me a massage real quick. And they think that's weird. Then they say no, and you laugh. And that's funny. They'll be like, some people who are like really fun to be around would be like, oh, that's weird. Why do you want that from me? And start taking like the piss, having a laugh. That could become an inside joke with you. But the thing is, when you're around awkward people who are like kind of respectfully kind of fucking losers, they'll be like, oh, that's really weird. Oh, why would you ever say that? And what ends up happening is you start to genuinely think what you said was weird as the problem. But the problem wasn't what you said was weird. The problem was that somebody else was a fucking weird person and they think that anything is weird. They're so nervous about who they are and themselves that they say it to you. So summing all this up, when I showed my real self to this girl, I made the jokes I wanted to make. The words that came to my mind were sitting there. I spoke them. Even if I was like, oh, that might be a little weird. Like, of course I didn't say anything obscene, which is like just common sense, right? I wasn't saying anything vulgar. I was just saying everything that genuinely came to my mind. And in the process of doing this, I became so much more confident. And a few weeks later, like I was going on a date. I was talking to this girl at the time. I went on a date and she literally came like 3 hours just to see me. I promise you that being yourself is the best way to go through your life. I know that it'll feel more uncomfortable, feel like more people might dislike you at first. Give it like 2-3 months for you to like hone in, you know, your natural flow. I go way more into this in my my course. It's so hard to explain this because it's such a complex method. There's so many caveats and things. Click the link in the description if you're interested and buy my course because it's elite, bro. I made it so that people like who I used to be could become that really social guy. I made it because it's what I wish I had. Now, the last piece of advice I want to give to you before I finish this video is the confidence won't come immediately to you. In fact, you're going to doubt this whole thing the whole way through. So what I recommend you do, lad, I'm not going to recommend you this. I'm going to tell you what I did when I was feeling like unconfident. There was this girl in the gym, and I swear for like half a year, I thought she was like exactly my type, super pretty. And this is not a success story, by the way. This is a story about how I wasn't like feeling good in myself. I like at the back of my mind, I wasn't like trying to push anything. I didn't say hi to her, but like a few weeks ago, I was like, fuck it. I went up to her. I was like, hey, do you want to come to formal with me? It was so awkward, bro. I had nothing to say. But after I did that, I felt 1,000 times better about myself. And I guarantee it would have had some invisible kind of progress in my life. And now you might not understand what I'm saying yet, but think about it. I went up to one of the most like good looking, well, everybody thinks she's like a really pretty girl. I did that. Think about how many guys would do that. I spoke to her a little bit after, like a little bit here and there, but she ended up not responding to one of my messages. And I took that as like a polite rejection. Like, oh, she's not interested, or oh, she's talking to someone else. And that's fine. But I'm just happy that I'm the guy who goes up to the girls that I think are really pretty. And every time you do that and you become that person, eventually you get your lucky day, bro. Because if every time you go up and you speak to a girl that you think's way out of your league, I swear to God, bro, the amount of miracles you'll start to pull off, it will seem like they're just a normal thing. When you become the guy, this is just an example with girls, right? But when you become the guy who takes risks, who does the hard thing all the time, this like changes your identity. You start to have a way easier life. And I've like, honestly, with my ex, some people were like, bro, she's out of your league. Like, you were punching above your weight. I don't believe that. Like, I think I was out of her league. I just think that's just a healthy amount of confidence, in my opinion. But the point that I'm making here is that I never felt confident my whole life. I never felt confident. But then when I started to pretend I was, and not just pretend, oh yeah, I'm really confident, but to pretend and go up to this girl who I thought was really attractive, do the action. Then after I did that, I was like, yeah, I'm the fucking man. Even when I got rejected, I thought I was the fucking man. And yeah, you might have some time like learning to deal with rejection, but what ends up happening is you become so proud of yourself that you were the guy who took the chance. Thank you for watching this video, bro. Link in the description, my course. Have a great day, lad.